Alright. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Jar Games Factorio Space Age, and we are getting into it here. So, it's time to make, what is it, Purple Science? Purple Science. It's time to make Purple Science. Yeah, that's right. Ho, 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 and a merry Purple Science to everybody. Alright, let's get right into it. Okie dokie, and okie dokie smoky, if you will. Let's take a look at a new potential Purple Science factory. So this should be fun. I'm really enjoying the designing phase of this stuff. It's cool. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I really like designing in Factorio, and yes, I fixed the belt as you saw in the intro from one of my commenters. Thank you guys for always looking out for your boy, the Jarhead, the brain in the jar, and I will look out for you as much as I can. That being said, if you have a blueprint you would like to have me take a look at, we would do that on the live streams. So by all means, that's it'd be a fun time to have a group take a look at your blueprints and see if there's anything that we can improve, or if there's a problem that you're running into, then we could help you fix that. So what do we need here? We need rails, which seems like a weird thing to have in a science lab, but you need rails. You need furnaces. I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. You got to burn things. And we need the productivity modules. Okay, so productivity modules and furnaces are going to be on one belt. That makes sense, of course. And so we'll just kind of put that over here. And how many rails do we need? We need quite a few, but we also produce quite a few. So first of all, let's take a look at how many we need to get 0.25 per second, which I think at 0.1, that's going to be something like 1.2 per second. Let's rate calculator this now. How many are we at? We're at 1.67 per second here. I guess with the blues, that's the thing where it's like, they're at 75% capacity. So yeah, that kind of makes me think, like, why is it? Because it's actually 0.107 per second. And here it displays as 0.1 per second because it's rounded. So let's see how many we would need to get to 2.25 is like, I'm gonna just take a stab in the dark and say this many more. Just kind of guessing, checking here like a real scientist. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm a real scientist, you guys. Look at that. So yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot of machines that we need to get to this 2.25. But I think what we're gonna have to do is kind of keep them all on one side. I mean, we could. How many are here? 21. So we could take 10 of them out and put them here, like right there. That might actually work because we got 3 inputs and 1 output. I guess we probably want to do, like, instead of running into the same problems that we have been specifically with this last one, we want to do something like this where we have, right, like this would be the out then on that side, and then we would just have actually an in and an in, and that would work, right? And then this would just be flipped vertically, but I think that we also would need to have this go out. This would need to be on the other side. So actually this is an interesting problem to solve here, because this would go on the outside. So if we had something like this with a belt like that, then we could do this, and that would get that on the outside, and then this would get this on the inside, and then this and this would get that on that side, so that we would be able to actually get, I kind of like this because that gives us a lot of room over here to actually build the things. But now maybe we already did too much designing on that. We need to figure out what exactly do we need to build over here. So we could do a rate calculator on this, and we would know that we need 15 of the module machines, and we would need 5 of the furnace machines. And then we also need 7 of the... Actually, it looks like a little bit more than 7 of the rail machines. So let's see here. If we need 15 module machines is quite a bit. Is that even going to fit kind of in this vicinity? Not exactly. We may have to do a little bit of something over here. I actually am starting to think we may not be able to... So that's 10. We may not be able to 11, 12, 13, 14, and this is what, 15? That's 15. We're probably not going to be able to have this type of design like we did here, where we just have like one big fat line, or I guess more like the military science. I don't know. Either way, like, you know, one line on the bottom, one line on the top, and everything just works. I think there's just straight up too much that we need to produce here. Which is maybe a reasoning for all of the purple science machines to be on the bottom. But either way, let's take a look here at what we could do theoretically. So I think this is actually kind of enough now. For the modules, yes, but for the for these guys here, the rails, no. But now that's enough. If I actually didn't cut and paste it. Right, so now we have enough. Oh, we're actually 1 over. Apparently, I'm only good at math once. Okay, so now we're half over on the rails, which is great. And that's going to actually produce 24 rails per second, I think. Right. Which actually means we need a full belt of rails in order to feed this. The amount of rails that it needs. It can't just be on a half belt like we were hoping. So that means we either need... I think that's probably the final nail in the coffin for this type of design. Let's take a look here at what this might look like if we if we put this over here. Like, how long is that? I mean, it's not that long, and it kind of fits with the length of everything else. Am I right? I think if we, like, if I just line this up here, I'm gonna put it here just so that I have a little bit more space to work with, because I think we're gonna need like 1 belt, or we may even need 2 belts here. But this does look nice for the length, right? Like, this is right in line with the rest of them so far. So that's good, that's good. Definitely digging this. And let's see here. So yeah, that's where, like, I guess the next thing we would want is to just put these aside for now. We might want to look at just having these as like 1 full length as well. Right? And let's just place them there. Let's just place them there and then see, because how many of these do we need? Because maybe we can put these kind of in a similar vicinity. Would you just place? Please? Place? Please? Alright. Yeah, okay. So, would you go there, please, and thank you. Do I have personal logistics off? No, I don't. I'm just not in the logistics network right now. Which is okay. We can just step up here for a second. There we go. And so... Wow, why do I have a bunch of sulfur and red circuits? Who was moving around blue science before, right? But yeah, anyways. There's gonna be some thick belts of science, am I right? That's what we like to see. Thick science production. Anyways. Let me see here. Let me see. So is that gonna be enough iron sticks? Ooh, we actually need 4 machines of iron sticks. So It's totally a waste to cut them all, I know, but make those robots work, you know what I mean? So now we have enough iron sticks, right? So this is interesting, because then it's like, well, in the blueprint, in Nilaus's blueprint, he's making, look at it over here. He's making the furnaces and the beacons on that upper side, and then and he's actually splitting that steel belt in the middle, and then making the rails on the bottom, which is cool. And it looks like it is, well, 3, and these need 1.5, so it actually is 2 of these for every one of these, which is kind of a nice ratio if we were to look at it like that. And we kind of also need power poles, so we have to consider that. Although we do have substations now with just where we are in technology-wise, so we'll see. We'll see. We may use substations. But either way, I think we're kind of getting somewhere, even if it's slowly. It's definitely surely. So, stone bricks and steel. But then we also need stone. Like, well, we could smelt our stone bricks on site here, but that just gets into weird territory, am I right? I think maybe we may consider the possibility of actually doing the rails on this side. Yeah, which maybe, like, we can definitely fit it, right? And we're going with a little bit higher throughput, I think. Like, we're trying to get 2.25, not just 1.5, which makes this just a little bit bigger, just a biggin. But then we would need iron in, steel, and stone. I think we might be able to take a play from the Nilos book there and do that kind of 2 for every 1. Like, let's see how this might work if we do something like this. And we get these 2. And then how many did we need? We need 8. Because we got the space now. Like, I guess I was a little bit radical on space down here and keeping them so tight together, but maybe there's a good reason, because these other sciences are bigger. They're definitely much bigger. So I just think no matter what, we're not going to be able to fit the yellow science in the same block. Like, I'd love to have all 6 of the basic sciences in one block producing 2.25 per second. Like, that would be super legit, but I just don't think it's going to work. Because let's see, if we had iron coming in here, let's just we'll put that design on pause and we'll look at this one. If we had iron coming in here, then we could put the sticks, we could switch this to, say, sticks only, right? And that way the iron would not continue. And we could have, like, iron on one side in and sticks on the other side out. And then we would have sticks there, and we'd have stone. Could we put stone on the same belt? So we had sticks and stones. Because, like, really, I mean, it just breaks some bones, am I right? Like, anyways, because they are the same. They're all the same input speed, actually. Because we need iron. We have 2 here, so, like, maybe if we made a space, if we made, like, a singular space between here, we could, by doing, like, this type of thing, right? Because the sticks will be on the outside. So if we had iron on one side I think that could actually work, right? And then we'd have sticks coming down here. Now that wouldn't solve our steel problem. But we could have another belt come in with steel. Right? If we had one belt of just steel, we'd probably want to switch it to... We'd probably want to switch it to the output as well later. I don't know. That's a tough call. We may need two belts here. But then if the tracks are coming out this way, then we'd have to just double them back to get them to the purples, especially if we're going to use two belts. If we're going to use the tracks on one side of the belt and then the purples on the other side of the belt for getting the purples out, then yeah, we may run into some issues there. But this does seem a little bit less like space, because we're trying to prefer a long design over a wide design. But that may just be the bane of our existence, so I don't know. Because if we were to, say, do something like this, then we could have steel. We need steel. Well, either way, we need steel and reds. Maybe we can weave both the ingredients necessary in between these, right? Like we could have iron doing a thing like this. And we could have stone. Well, because if we did something like... If we did this instead... Then we could have the sticks going there. But I guess we'd actually need to have this kind of like this. Which would also work, right? Because then we could have this. We could have like this one going. Well, I guess the sticks don't need to come back out. That's the point of this design, is that we just directly insert with a perfect ratio into those. So you only need iron, which means whatever, we could put this here. And then we have iron coming in, and in. And then we just need, well, these could be bumped up. That's not an issue at all. Doesn't matter. In fact, we would prefer that, because then we want stone coming in. And then we'd have stone coming in here. And that's totally fine. And that actually kind of makes it a little bit easier, because yeah, stone, 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 stone. Right? Is that somewhat of a pattern? It is. Very nice. And then we could just maybe stick some of these in here so that's not so annoying to look at. And just connect that over here. And you still have room for lights, so how about that? Feel like, anyways, I think that's okay. It's not okay. It's hideous, isn't it? This one would need to be there, and then it should be here, and then here, and then here. Does that get the last one? Oh, it does. Okay, so that's perfection. And then that's much better, much better. Anyways, okay, so that could be our system for, and then iron's here. Steel is here. And steel and stone bricks could be here, right? Let's get some constant combinators in here to tell us what to do. Let's try this, and I guess that. So this just needs to be iron, and this only needs like a half belt of iron, right? Yeah, 6. We only need a half belt of iron, so maybe we'll try to remember that. I don't think it matters, but well, I know it doesn't matter if we put a full belt in there or not. But this is stone, which is also how much of a belt? Just about, it is half a belt. So stone, okay, and then this being steel and stone bricks. And then how are we going to get power in here? I don't know. Are we going to use substations? I think so. So this can go out. No, Alt D. I'm forgetting all my shortcuts. Shortcuts. Everybody loves shortcuts. Okay. I don't know. I just gotta make my own jingles sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Jingle bell, jingle bell. I guess. Anyways, it's that holiday season, isn't it? Right? Time to factory. Family. Who needs family when you got factory? Just kidding. I love my family too. anyways, here. So yeah, then this is steel and stone bricks, which is pretty easy, right? Like, and it's 3 per second. One of these can do 3 per second, 4 per second, as we found out in one of the last videos. But can it do that twice for different supplies? I don't think so. But that being said, we can easily have that there. But then this being reds and greens, actually I think would work. Greens, reds. Now the only thing is, do we do a spaced design here for... Okay, so we will need to outload on the other side for this design. And we may not need all of these inserters, but it just feels good. Right, and so this one actually only needs to go here, and we also need these to go out, but then we also need them to come back around. So that being said, like, right, like maybe it would be best to somehow get the rails out on their own. Like, they're making what? They're making 24 per second, right? So we actually also need to... These are supposed to be in, which makes sense. Right, because we need steel in. But then we need them to come out on their very own belt. And so... And like, on each side of the belt, because it's so many. So, like, that's fine. But I guess my biggest concern is, how are we going to power this? Okay, let's just think about this for a second. Because we have 3 inputs and outputs, but one of them's a full belt. One of them's a full belt. So that, it does kind of give us a bit of an issue here. Let's say we went all the way to the end here, and maybe we just... Oops. We gotta space them out, right? We gotta think about power. Unfortunately, it is the way of the world. Power runs everything. So we gotta keep that in mind, right? Because without power, we are in the dark. So I think that kind of works. We also got to think about power for the purples, right? So is that going to be just making it much longer? I think so. I think that's actually all we can do. think this is the best move, realistically. Because substations are just, they're biggins. So does that give us the same rate? No, not quite. We need like one more, right? Which kind of sucks. Like, I'd like to maybe do this. Is this possible? Whoops. No. Is that possible? Is that all the signs we need? It is. So, I mean, there's something nice about that, for example. And then we could just bump this whole thing down one to the right. But that being said, we still need our, like, we can do a one science out belt, right? And yeah, okay, this makes it a little bit of an issue here. But maybe we can just take this out to there and do something like this, right? Just to get these last ones on the same belt. Part of me would be like, we're gonna have just a little bit on that. It doesn't matter. So that could be a thing. Like, this could work. And then, and that's what I was saying, like, we're gonna, no matter what, we're gonna have one line, and then we're gonna have like half a line. Like, there's no way to really avoid that in this scenario. I don't think. But from here, then we need to think about, okay, the outputs of these. Like, should we just move these over and have a belt going in the middle of them for the outputs? Or should we... Or do we, like, bump this whole thing up? Probably could, because these don't really need that much. Let's just see how that might look. But we need to bump it up just once, I think. But then these all become reds. Right? Like, those could work as reds. And these could work as reds. Ooh, but we can't quite... Oh no, yeah, these go here as reds. So these two... this one, ooh, yeah, so we can't... Well, we can potentially make this work. So if we go here, 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 it's a little bit awkward. But the point is that the output belt needs to be here. But can we double it? Like, can we put it on both sides is the issue. We can take out the lights for a second. So if we did something like this, like, that works for an output belt, except that we need to switch sides here, which I don't think we can quite do, just because of the constraint on this. It's only here or here. And if we wanted to switch sides, we'd need it to be going down and then plowing through this one. Right? I think there's another way to switch sides. I basically think, like, yeah, let's just undo all of this. Until it's moved back over here. Right? And then just see if we can, like, we'll just wait for that to sort itself out, and then I think we just move this over and have a belt in the middle, because why not? Well, these needs to go out anyways for a second. And this will need to be here all the way down to here. Okie dokie, okie dokie. Okay. Take some time to design. All right, I think that's fixed there. Yeah, so like I was saying, we could just take this and move it over. It would have to be 2, right? Like we couldn't do... I mean, this would be weird, but like something like that. I don't know. I mean, maybe, but it doesn't matter because we have lots of space this way. So like, that's the thing here is that I think we just do a full unit wide there, and then we just connect everything. And this can just go to there-ish. Right? Ooh, that also doesn't quite work. Yeah, because... well, I guess so. No, it actually doesn't. So if we go here, and then this is the maximum, and we go here, that's also past the maximum. Dang. Okay, so this concept doesn't work either. Just kind of a bummer. But this could be... I think we could take this out. We might be able to just move this down again. I mean, I think that's what we're trying to avoid, but either way, like, well, if we just make this one go the other way, and then have this kind of come out, right? Then we can have this be our red and greens instead. And this doesn't quite fit, but it would there. It's just easy enough to fix. And then that way we could have, well, I guess these are all going out. How much do these make? 0.0. Yeah, so we could make this go out here, and then that way if we go out here, we could just go like in here, and then that way these will be fed, and then they just need to go all the way down. But then the furnaces need to go that way and that way. So that's a bit of an issue. It is a bit of an issue. So this, yeah, this is an interesting design here, and I think it's a hard problem to solve, really. Right? Because then we can have that one belt coming back. We need our steel here. All right. Let me just take a second here and think about this. I don't know, maybe the alternative would be something like this, where we can stack some of them here and even maybe there. I don't know. Like, we'd have to get really creative, I think. But maybe there's room to put then, because how many are there? There's 10, right? So maybe there's room to like stick 5 and 5, and then like have that here, sort of. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe there's something to this. Because especially if we were to like bump this up to be on the same line and on the same line here, then this could actually end up becoming like a square, a more of a fully rectangle design, right? Because we got our reds and our greens coming all the way down here. Then, and maybe we could still do this so that we have like reds and greens come in. Maybe modules comes out and reds and greens come in. Is this totally radical, or reds and greens in, and in, and then modules out, 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 out. Out, 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 out. In. And then that way this ends up being here, and modules, like we could actually have this come out to here even. And then maybe with some kind of like belt magic, we could have all the modules on that side and all of the furnaces on that side. Is this like too radical? Or... and then power poles just on both sides? Just to make it work? With a bit of lights to make it pretty? And like, is that on the same level? Is that on the same level? It is. Strange, it doesn't look like it, but it is. But then we have this here, which, like, that's not terrible. We can just go out like that, and then that's on the same level, right? Then we can just take this. Well, this doesn't need to go out. These are all the purples. These are literally all of the purples that we need. And then this could go down, and we'll just hook that around because we're going to copy and paste this whole thing, which I think is probably easier if we copy and paste this whole thing to there. We're going to have to copy and paste the entire thing anyways, but so this just needs one of those. And then that way we got our rails, we've got our furnaces and our beacons, and it's actually in a pretty compact design. I didn't think we could get it this compact. Thank you, robots, an army of bots doing their thing. Right, and then we just have these coming out. And we need to use substations here because that's just the way she goes. That's not an issue because we love substations, right? And that can go there. And then we can have that there. And then all in all, we might even be able to bump this down just one. I don't think I want to, just because. I think if I put this one just one closer than it really needs to be. Or maybe we even base it on that. Now I'm getting nitpicky, right? Right? Like that could go there. That could go there. And that could go there. Actually, that does work nicely. That works even nicer. Cool. Okie dokie. And then if we bring these in, and then just copy and paste those, I think we have a working design. It's a lot of belts, but it is fairly rectangular. Is there anything that like we don't need? not really. We need all of this going, all of this spaghetti mess going every which way. But I think I'm like pretty happy with this overall. Right? Like this is pretty compact. It's definitely a little spaghetti-y. I mean, we could potentially like, we could do this. We could definitely do this. We don't need to go all the way back over here. We could do that for sure. Doesn't really matter, right? But like, I don't know, that seems a little bit more efficient. And then we just need lights and the outputs, the out inserters. I think we'll just go with middle on every one of these. Because we can. And we definitely don't need bulk inserters on that, but you know. And then we can do our recycler here. Logistics purples, and there we go. Did I set the filter right? Yeah, okay. And then I'll probably even stick one of these in there just to kind of close that logistics gap, but I think that's a little bit later. We just need lights and I think we're done. Can we line these up? No. But we can do our own thing here where every second one gets a light. Everybody gets a light. Just kidding. Every second one gets a light. Cool. That looks good to me. But I think I would like to just we can't bump the power pole down, but we can bump the lights down. And maybe even stick another light. No, we definitely don't have room for another light up there. So constant combinators, they don't need, yeah, they're good. Yeah, like we can't fit that other constant combinator there. But I think that's it. I think this is a working design. If I missed something terribly so, then, you know, you got me. I know you got me in the comments. But let's say purple science jar 2.25 per second. Cool. And get our purple science sticker in there with, let's say, red belts. No, let's do blue machines, red belts, and I don't know, smiley face, a death sign. X, it almost killed us. I think that is good. And who knows, maybe with the right circuit magicry, we almost have room for the next level of science. I blueprinted that, right? We got red circuits here. This smelting design actually didn't work, I think. This one works. I'll probably put these all in the blueprint book. This one definitely needs to be in our early game science. And this one also needs a symbol. Needs a label here. Blue machines. Red belts, 2.25. Cool. And that way, there's some consistency there. And, oops, jar, early game, science. And then this way, yeah, I think we're pretty good. We can just stamp this down right about here. And bada bing, bada boom. We may actually have room here for yellow science. So that's going to be really cool. If we can get yellow science in here and have like this massive science block all at 2.25 per second, like that would be pretty legit. I am going to stick a RoboPort. Well, if we put one on this end, we can cover, I mean, it doesn't matter if we cover all of the space. We don't need to actually get logistics on every single square centimeter of this, but it would be nice to get most of it, especially closer to the path. Like we got to have that on the path, right? All right. And then to get power across actually is maybe an interesting, like there is room for a substation here, which makes a lot of this power, and even kind of here, I don't know, would this belt go all the way across? It would actually. So, I mean, we're not going to save any space by putting a substation, but maybe there's a case to be made to like connect the powers. Can we even do that? We can do that by putting one power pole here, actually. Is there a spot where that might look better? Yeah, there is. And then this can just disconnect there. So I will actually re-blueprint that with the power pole, because you know we should technically have them all connect. That's just right there. And then we'll just take out those because we don't need those in the blueprint. But yeah, then that way the two sides connect, which I think is important. So yeah, I will connect this up and do a little bit of debugging, but that's going to be it for this episode. So we will see you in the very next episode tomorrow where we do yellow science. All right, that's it. And bye for now. Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, bop. All right, just a quick update here on turning it on.
Like and subscribe.
A couple bugs. In fact, I'm seeing one right now, and this will all be updated, of course, in the blueprint. There we go. But I also realized we actually are using more than the half belt of steel, so I just decided to put steel up here with stone, which will work just fine because we can definitely share those. And that way we've got like a half belt of steel here and a half belt of steel there, but this half belt was empty anyways. So that allows the steel to, oh, this is interesting. That's an easy fix though. And we don't even need that there then. Cool. And then, yeah, that way it allows these to use that half belt of steel. And that way we should see everything working here. Let's see. Yeah, I think everything's working. This will take a little bit. It should fill up on this side first, and then the rest will start pumping out that way, because otherwise we will have a little bit of a deficit because of this. And that's maybe an argument for the belt going this way first and then coming back, but it doesn't matter. What's going on over here though is that we have an item ingredient shortage. So that's, yeah, maybe a little bit awkward that like these are coming from this side and the tracks are coming from that side. But we do see some purple signs being built. So yeah, just a couple little tweaks, of course, since getting it connected, which will be updated in the blueprint. Okay, and for real, bye for now. Okay, wait, so yeah, now it works. Oh geez, I somehow missed that we need 15 of these machines and not 10. So I had to put some substations in and do a little bit of rework here, but now, yeah, we've got all the machines that we need and everything is plugged in. And there's no missing inserters, I don't think. So yeah, should be good. Blueprint will be updated. Okay, really bye for now.